So, what does schizophrenia depression feel like? So, I have schizoaffective disorder, which is a combination of both schizophrenia and a mood disorder like bipolar or depression. Now, everybody that has schizoaffective disorder will have the classic symptoms of schizophrenia, like paranoia, delusions, hallucinations, and cognitive decline, but they will also have a mood disorder, which can cause severe depressive episodes. So, I can only speak from my personal experience, but what it feels like for me is that my brain basically gets stuck or even hardwired to just feel negative, sad, and miserable all the time. The things that would normally make me feel happy and produce positive emotions just don't work and they do absolutely nothing for me. And I think this is something that most people don't understand about mental illness that causes depression is that the average person when they're depressed, it's usually because of some sort of lifestyle factor that is triggering them, and if they solve that problem, they can start to feel normal and happy again. But if a person has a mental illness that is causing a depressive episode, sometimes there's nothing that will make them feel better and just snap out of it. The other problem is that when you're stuck like this for a long period of time, you can start to have suicidal tendencies and emotions because you start to feel that life is just full of pain, that there's no joy or happiness, and it's not worth living. Now, as a Christian, I understand there is a huge difference between our thoughts and feelings and the actions that we engage in. And this does not mean that anybody has to go and commit suicide, because there is always hope to find treatment and to recover from these things. The last thing I would like to mention is that for somebody with schizophrenia, when they're dealing with a depressive episode, it's usually that they have multiple symptoms at the same time because they don't have the depression alone, but they also have the schizophrenic symptoms. So you can have psychosis and be disconnecting from reality where you're extremely paranoid and delusional. You can have cognitive issues where you can't think clearly. And then you can have the depression and the suicidal tendencies on top of that. So it gets to the point that you cannot mentally function like a normal person. And this is a real problem with schizophrenic disorders. They come with so many symptoms that when they all hit you at once and you're in a deep episode, it can really cause a lot of suffering and it can be very difficult to stabilize and get out. So I don't say all of this to be negative or to scare you guys. I just want to be transparent about what it's like to live with a severe mental illness. And on the flip side of that, there really is so much hope because if you're using the proper treatment, you can get into full remission, which means you have no symptoms. And I found from personal experience that if you're ultimately controlling all the health factors in your life, you can stay in remission and prevent yourself from getting deep into another episode like that. And you can live a healthy and fulfilling life even when diagnosed with a severe mental illness.